The following program is brought to you in part by Time Warner Cable and the Madison County School System.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. I'm here with Madison Central's head football coach, Burt Brown.
And I want you to watch Madison Central football on Madison County School Sports Television.
This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and Pro Signs in Southern Hills Plaza.
Welcome to the Coach Burt Brown Show.
This program is brought to you by L81, a proud sponsor of Madison County School Sports Television. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and Pro Signs in Southern Hills Plaza.
Welcome back to the Coach Burt Brown Show. I'm Samantha Burford, and of course I am here with Coach Burt Brown. We're at Jack Burford Chevrolet, one of our sponsors for MadisonCountySchoolSports.com, and we're very thankful that they're allowing us into their building, and we're seeing some more remodeling, and we've got a new wall behind us, nice and painted. We can smell the paint fumes. So anyway, if we get delirious by the end, we'll know it's from the fumes. It's not us just being silly. Anyway, let's just get started. It was man, it was a struggle. That's the word I'm going to say, is struggle. And you guys fought to the very end. I mean, you came up with a 41-21 loss against Henry Clay Blue Devils. But they're a great team. They're undefeated.
Yeah, they are. They've got athletes all over the place. They're big. They're fast. Got two very good tailbacks and might have the best tailback in the state, Elijah Bell. He's just quick, fast, strong. He's everything that you want in a running back.
I know, he had a lot of yards.
Yeah, he's extremely tough, durable kid, just runs hard, does other things, blocks well. I mean, he's just a great running back.
Yeah, him and Jackson.
They
both were enormous for them.
Elijah is the guy. I mean, he makes them go, and he's just a great player.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the opening of the game. I mean, it was a great possession, both of you, when you opened it up.
Yeah. Well, we got a great return on a kickoff return right after they scored, and flipped the field and went 4 or 5 plays, 25 yards, and scored. And anytime that you can do that, score right after somebody else scores, you kind of take some momentum away from them. And our kids played extremely hard, and they just offensively they're an extremely good football team, and they're going to get you because of their speed. I mean, they're going to have. I mean, you go in with them. Everybody they play knows that they're going to hit 2 or 3 long touchdowns on them because of their speed and Elijah Bell and then the other kid. So is a fast kid too. So anytime
Yeah.
you play somebody like that and you're as young as we are defensively, they're going to have 3 or 4 long plays that hurt you.
Yeah, well, we say it every week when we have our coaches show. I mean, you guys are so, I mean, you're just young. And it's hard for such a young, inexperienced team to match up against 2 very experienced or 3 very experienced.
Yeah, and
Henry Clay.
you know, we've played the last 3 football games. We've played 3 pretty good football teams. Lexington Catholics is a great football team.
Yes. Why'd you do that? Why'd you make this schedule?
Nobody will play us. I mean, I've called all around, and it's unbelievable. You know, we've offered money to teams to come in here and play us, and they won't do it.
Just anything to make you have a better record. I mean,
Yeah, well,
you know.
and you know, basically what you have to do in 6A is you have to play teams like we play, because if you want to win the big one, you're going to be playing down the stretch. You know, there are no blowouts in the 3rd or 4th round of the 6A playoffs. I mean, it just,
Yeah, you're right.
You're playing some dang good football teams.
Do you think playing this caliber of football teams, I'm speaking for next year, will it, I think it's going to affect you.
Well,
they're going to be like, we've been here, we've done it.
Yeah. Well, that'll help us this year, you know, going into district play
Playoffs.
this week. And, you know, anytime you're playing teams like that, that's definitely going to help you as the year progresses. I think that our kids have gotten better every week. With the exception of the letdown, I think at Dunbar we didn't play very well either side of football. And our youth showed, and our injuries showed, not having some guys out there. So anytime that you know, you're young, you're going to have some growing pains, and I think that that's going to help us when we hit these next 3 district games.
Anything else in like the first or second quarter? Any in particular plays that I don't have written down?
You know, we played. You know, one of the things that, like I told the kids after the game, the best compliment that I think is a head coach that you can be paid is that your kids play hard. And after the game, during the last time out we had, I was leaving the field, and the white hat, the head referee said, "Boy, coach, your kids play hard." You know, and after the game, Sam Simpson, the head coach of Henry Clay, pulled me over there and he said, "You know, you guys just, man, they don't give up. They play hard every snap. They, you know," he said, "I was watching you all on film against Scott County and just expecting any time for you all to lay down, and they kept playing to the last snap against a great football team in Scott County." So I think that if you ask Coach Kidd and you ask Nick Saban, what's the best compliment their football team can be paid is that they play hard every snap and they don't give up. And you know, those guys have been around, and I'm almost positive that they would both tell you that is the best thing that somebody can say about their football team is they play hard.
And I think it's not only a compliment to you, but to your coaching staff and to these kids, to their parents. You guys are teaching them, we don't quit.
Yeah,
We're not quitters.
Our kids have bought into to what we want to do, and they understand that, you know, we're going to ask a lot of them at practice, and we're going to work hard in the weight room in the off season and all of that stuff. And I think all of that, all the off season things that you do, even if you're not having a very good season, pay off in the aspect of the kids understanding how hard that you know, they've got to play hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's take a break, if you don't mind. We'll take a break. We'll be right back, and we'll talk about the pink everywhere, and we'll get into the second half of the game. So we'll be right back.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, Madison County EMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Coach Burt Brown Show. I'm Samantha Burford. Let's talk about something more beneficial. Let's talk about all the pink.
Yeah, it was a good night for our kids to be able to wear that, and we had a few fans out there. It being fall break, we didn't have as many.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah,
that was tough. The kids, some of the kids are gone on break,
and so you know, it was they recognized throughout the game on the PA there. Who every kid had on the back of their jersey, you know, anybody that had somebody on the back of their jersey that they were playing for, and so that was a pretty good deal, and we talked about that stuff all week, talked about it before the game with the kids, so it was a good thing. I think it hopefully that'll bring some attention to that stuff. I know the NFL does wears some pink and stuff like that, and so
well, that's a good question for me to ask you, I believe, is, you know, some other teams, they just wear the socks or, you know, maybe an armband or something like that. So how did you get the pink jerseys?
Well, I got that idea when I was at Perry Central. I was reading something on the internet about, I wanted to find a pink football. We were going to, you know, do something. I thought, we'd get a pink football played with pink footballs and kind of, you know, be pretty cool. And so I Googled pink football or something, and there was an article. I think a guy in New Jersey, a head football coach in New Jersey, had lost his mother to breast cancer, and he got pink jerseys. And I thought, man, that's pretty cool. And so that's
did you have to fundraise? I mean, I'm sure your team had to.
Well, we were hoping that we would get a sponsor for the game that would pay for the jerseys for the boys, but the boys had bought the jerseys, and I think they were $40, and so I was hoping that somebody would pick that up, pick the game up and sponsor it, and be able to pay for that for the boys. And of course, we've had to buy those red jerseys that we wear. The boys had to buy those.
So we need some sponsors.
Yeah, it would be nice.
We need some football sponsors.
Because we have to, you know, we can't order uniforms through the school for 5 years, which, you know, our white uniforms look absolutely terrible. They're torn up and ripped. So,
right.
So this
and probably had many bleachings. I mean.
Oh yeah, it's bad. But this will be our year to order new uniforms this year, so that's going to be nice. So
that will be new field. Well, it's semi-new field and new uniforms. That'll be exciting.
But the pink jerseys were, you know, the boys buy those, and you know, that was kind of where I got the idea from. Just trying to find a pink football, really, to kind of bring in, because we had a teacher there at Perry Central that had breast cancer, and she was fighting it and lost all her hair and stuff like that. And so, you know, I thought, well, we need to, as one of my friends, one of my good friends' fiancés, and so we're going to do the pink football thing, and that it kind of rolled into that.
Yeah, it kind of spiraled into more.
Yeah, so it was pretty neat thing, and the boys. There after the game, they presented her with a game ball and had her jersey #1, you know, all that stuff. So it was pretty neat.
Well, and I think, you know, it's becoming more common. Everyone knows October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Richmond has Paint the Town Pink, and it's just a lot more common. Marketing has done a fabulous job with the pinkness for breast cancer research. So it's wonderful what you're doing and what you're teaching these young men. I mean, I think it's important, and everyone has had someone in their family or friends or, you know,
touched by cancer. I mean,
exactly.
That's I think 95% of our kids raise their hands when I ask them that question, So I think it's a good deal, and I think the guys like it, the boys like it. I think they.
Do you ever have any of them that go, "Oh, don't make me wear that"?
No, I think they kind of like it.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
They
don't mind wearing
They don't
pink
mind
for the
it.
day,
Yeah,
as long as the rest of the team's wearing it. The
they-
coaches are wearing it.
They don't mind it, so it's a pretty good deal.
That's good. Well, all right, let's get back to football and let's talk about, halftime. How do you keep the morale up? What do you say?
Well, we were in the game at the half.
Oh, yeah, you were, going
doing some
especially
things,
right into the second
good,
half.
Good things, and they hit a couple plays on us there back to back, and got us, and we dropped a couple first down passes, and just making some mental mistakes that young football teams are going to make, and.
But you didn't have a lot of turnovers, though,
No,
right?
no, we
So
didn't.
this was a good game for no turnovers.
Yeah, it was, and that's a progression from the weeks past. So
You were due.
Yeah, and
You were due, 'cause
hopefully we can carry some of that stuff over
Into the tournament
to
game.
this week
Yeah.
into the district play against State
Yeah.
Street.
Well, so when you go into the locker rooms, I mean, can you tell, do the guys look defeated? Do they?
Oh no, I mean our guys are, they're always listening. We
No, that's
go in
hard to
there.
do.
We go in there and whatever offense will meet first, defense will meet second, or whatever, and we talk about what we're doing and all that good stuff, and always trying to find. We'll stand out there as a coach staff, kind of talk and say, well, what do we need? What do we need to look at? What do we need to adjust to, and kind of things like that, and
Right.
have the game plan kind of mapped out when we go in at the half, what we're going to be talking about with them.
Yeah. So do you think the second half, did they play like you expected?
Yeah, I mean they just hit us with some big plays. I mean they run a. We were real worried about number 13, their receiver, real good receiver, and we had told our safety, hey, you've got to help over the top on him maybe, and he was in the short side of the field, and our safety went to the short side, and they ran a go route right up the hash wide open for a touchdown that hurt us. Where we've got to, our kids and our coaches have got to do a better job of communicating that a little bit better. I think one of our coaches, he watched 13, and so he ran over there instead of watching that hash because he's deep third. And it's just, we've got two sophomore corners, a junior that didn't play football last year playing safety, so that's a good football player. Going to be a great one, I think. And so hopefully our growing pains are paying off. I think down the stretch here they're going to. I think, our sophomores, I've told them, you're not sophomores anymore, you're juniors. Juniors, you're seniors. Mm-hmm. And so we're 7 games in and coming down and playing our last 3's all district play. So hopefully we can go out and put offense, defense, and special teams together and be 1-0 in the district.
Now, do you still have a lot of men out? I mean, you still got some injuries.
Now we've got Cameron Presnell's coming back this week. Sam Jones was back limited last week. He's back full speed this week. Joe Salih's back. I thought, the first diagnosis we got, he was going to be out for the season. He started defensive tackle the first game of the season and hasn't played since. And so he's back. He'll play sparingly, I think. And he's a guy that we thought was lost for the season. And
so that's a big surprise.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good surprise.
It is. And when they,
You like
I guess when he
those.
went back to the doctor the other day, the doctor looked at him and they looked at X-rays and it wasn't as bad as what they thought at first. So so he's back, and that's going to help. And we've got a couple other guys back that don't start that play some other roles. So
Yeah. And Cody Kidd. We
Cody
were
Kidd,
excited the last time we met.
Cody was back out for the Dunbar game, and
And then what happened?
the first play of the game, he broke his collarbone.
Again, but
And
the
the
different
other one.
side.
And he,
Yeah.
played about 5 of the plays. He was doing like this, and we were, you okay? I mean, trainer said.
And he was
"You
probably
okay?"
doing the
And
other arm. You're like,
he was
what's
doing
going
this,
on?
And so he said, "Yeah, I'm fine. He's tough now. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
He wanted
It's
to
in
play
his genes.
bad.
It's in the blood.
It is.
It's in that kid blood.
Yeah, and he toughed it out, and then I think we asked him again, are you sure you're okay? You know, he said, I don't know, Coach. And then got the trainer on him, and you know, he just both of those injuries that he had were freak injuries. I mean, it's now he took a pretty good shot and had a big boy land on him, and you know, we first play of the game, we lose our starting Z receiver against Dunbar, and then we have to do something different. We weren't planning on running the speed sweep with Cody, and had to, because all of a sudden we're in there. He got hurt on the kickoff, and all of a sudden we call a play, and he's in there at that receiver. So didn't really want to run that with him, but you know, it's a freaky thing. You know, it's just a freak injury. And so he's lost for the year. So. But he'll be back next year. He's just a sophomore, and he's going to be a great player. Yeah.
Let's talk about Harden. You're happy with his play? He threw some big touchdowns and only one interception.
Yeah, he's coming. He's getting better every week. He's got a great head for the game. He's very smooth in the pocket.
Well, it's nice to know that Presnell's back, too. So that's going to help.
Cameron, that's going to help, because Cameron does different things than he does, and Zach does different things than Cameron. So it's kind of a two-headed monster there that we can put in there, and you know, people are going to have to kind of prepare for two different quarterbacks.
Right. So that's good. They better watch a lot of footage.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Tate's Creek.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU bypass in Richmond. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. If you'd like to be one of our advertising sponsors, check out our website or go to our Facebook page. All right, welcome back. We're with Coach Burt Brown, and we're talking about the soon-to-be game Friday night against Tate's Creek.
Big district game. It's our first one. You know, I told the kids the other night after the game we were 0-0, got a new season. Anytime, it doesn't matter if you're 7-0 or 1-6, you're 0-0.
Yep.
Like going into district, and you know, we playing a good football team. They're 4-3, could be 5-2 easily. And Mike's done a great job with them this year, Mike Harmon. And so we're going to have to go over there at their place and play our tails off. And what, you know, what I told our kids, we want to get on the bus 1-0 in the district and have our destiny in our hand. That's how it is right now. We've got everything right there for us, and we got to go take care of business, and then see what happens after that.
I hate that it's an away game too, so we need the fans to follow. It's not that far.
Yeah, and you know, we've always had a good following here. You know, even this year when we've been struggling, we've had great fan support, and you know, Madison Central football always has that.
Well, and you got a lot of, you know, you got a Facebook page. You guys are out there. I mean,
yeah.
Getting lots of publicity.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that I hope that we can do is school really is get our athletic events out there better, letting the community know when our games are, because I think a lot of people, you know, if you don't get the Richmond Register, you don't know when we play, and anything really, if people aren't reading the paper. So hopefully we can get some things done where the whole county knows when our athletic programs are playing. We had the best basketball team in the state of Kentucky last year,
right.
And I go to the game, every home game, and we should have that gym packed over there for those guys last year, and didn't at times. And there were some games we had great crowds, but I think if people know we're playing, they come.
Yeah. Well, and that's what our job is, talking to our crew here. We're trying to help that awareness as well.
Yeah.
We have MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
And that helps out
your
tremendously.
There's a link on there where you can go directly to Madison Central's website. All you got to do is just click on it. But we have your schedule on there. So actually we have your home games on
What
there.
I'd like to have us do, maybe have something on the bypass that has schedules on it or something.
Like EKU does.
Like EKU has that little rolling thing, because a lot of people come through there, and if you don't live down Red House Road, you're not going past Madison Central High School, so you don't really know sometimes. So this show and Madison County School Sports Television does a great job, and I know the Register does, and radio, but it would be good if we could come up with something that would get us out there on the bypass where the most traffic is, and people would know.
People would
for
see
all
your schedule.
Of our sports, for all of our sports,
Right.
Everything that we do out there. Because I think a lot of times I've had people go, "Well, I didn't know that basketball had a game, or I didn't know baseball had a game. I'd like to go on." So.
And you'll find that with all kinds of events.
Oh, yeah.
If the Richmond Arts Council is having an event, they'll be like, "Oh, people will say, we didn't even know it was going on."
Yeah.
So you're finding out. I mean, it's like people have the same
Yeah.
problem about getting the word out there to people. But pretty much on Friday night in the fall, you're either going to be at home or you're going to be
That's
away.
exactly
so
right.
they just need to
Figure out where we're at.
figure out where you are. Exactly.
Yeah.
Coach, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. We wish you the best.
Yeah.
Against Tate's Creek, as always. We're rooting for you. Let me shake your hand. Now, before we go, do you think your team will be allowed to do that at the end of the game?
Well,
I mean, it's all over ESPN today. Can you shake hands at the end of the game?
Well, I think that they've kind of come back with, we don't want people to not shake hands, and I agree. I mean, I think it's that's one thing about sports, is teaching you sportsmanship. Win or lose, you need to go over there and congratulate the other team and shake their hand, wish them good luck.
Right. The cheerleaders do it, the coaches do it, the players do it.
And if there's a certain sport that's uncontrollable, then I think that they need to maybe sanction that sport.
Right,
I don't think it's football.
Not say Kentucky high school athletics all over.
I don't think it's football. I think it's another sport, and deal with those coaches and make them toe the line and tell them, hey, look, get them in a meeting and say, you guys are either going to toe the line or we're going to fine you, for your kids not being a discipline after games. Now, in football, every football team we play, and we do the same thing. All right, guys, get on the 50, put your helmets on, let's go across here. Mm-hmm. So if anything was to happen, now I'm not saying that fights don't happen after the game, because every now and then something might happen. But I think football coaches are pretty good about lining up and taking care of business and getting on guys if they mouth off or say something like that.
Right.
If our kids say something to somebody, I get on them. If one of my coaches hears that, they get on them, and the same thing for the other team.
Right.
Because football coaches know you've got all those kids out there in pads. You don't want a big brawl, and we tell our kids, you win or lose, you go across there and you be a man and you shake hands, and
because you're not going to win every game,
and congratulate them or wish them good luck.
Right.
And so I think with the national media that's happened on this, it's a good thing. I listened to Herm Edwards on ESPN talk about that, and he was spot on. Hey, that's the part about sports. You're teaching kids to be good sports, and if certain coaches can't control their kids, then they need to be the ones that are sanctioned by the KHSAA. Yeah. Don't if somebody if there's a car wreck, we're not going to ban car driving, right. And so I just don't think that you do that, and that's my opinion. And I think that a lot of football coaches have the same opinion I have.
Right.
And a lot of coaches, I know me and Alan Feldhouse were talking about that today. And, you know, he said in his 28 years or 27 years of coaching, he's never had a problem. You know, as far as a fight after game, you know, you might have a kid mouth and you say, hey, knock it off. And then even there's a teaching moment there. You know, you can say knock it off, and then you get that kid in the locker room and say, we don't do that. You know, that's not what we do. And that's a teaching moment. That's a moment that you teach a young man that you don't do that stuff. Just like when you lose, you try to find lessons in losses. I think you probably learn more about yourself when you lose than when you win. And so, you know, I think that was just one of those things. You know, that I don't know. I just think that you need to go across there and shake their hands.
Well, it's kind of the way our society has become. If something bad happens, we just ban everything. It's nice that Kentucky high school athletics gets on national television, but not for the right reason.
And I've had teams before where, you know, there was a team we played when I was at Perry Central that had 7 personal fouls that they did on our kids, and they were malicious. And I thought the referees lost control of the football game, and they had finally ejected 2 kids and a coach for the other team. And I told my kids, as soon as this game's over, you run straight to that locker room, and because I felt like there would be a fight, and
that's about safety issues.
Yeah, that's
as
a
well,
safety issue, and our kids took off and they did what I told them, and our coaches went over there and you know, that's what we did.
That's understandable.
Yeah, and so if that's something that you need to use a little common sense as a coach, you need to say, well, this kind of got out of hand here. Maybe we need to go to the locker room right now. You know, you're a grown man. Right. You ought to be able to make a few decisions like that, and if you can't, you probably don't need to be coaching. Yeah. And so that's what I say. I think for the most part, football coaches have got a handle on those things. Now, again, things happen. I mean, you know, you when you're dealing with you know, maybe 200 guys on one field, and somebody might say something, and somebody, you know, something might happen, and you know, I got to knock on wood because I don't want anything to happen to us, but you know, whenever you're dealing with that many people, things can happen, but I've never seen it.
Well, these athletes nowadays, they see it on television. I mean, you look at Major League Baseball. I mean, you see, you know.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of fighting in the NFL.
No, you don't.
You know, you don't.
They take out all that aggression during the game.
You don't see, you know, you might see a little scuffle every now and then, but you normally don't in the NFL. You know, it's just not something you see much of. So anyway, I think it's probably a good thing that. Well, I think they've come back and said, you know, we're not meaning don't shake hands. We're just saying that I think the referees are leaving the field, and they always have. As soon as the game's over, the referees are gone.
Right.
They no
Safety
longer,
issue for them, too.
Yeah, and they no longer have anything to do with it, and that's a coach thing. So, but I mean, I respect everybody we play. I respect their head coaches. Their head coaches are good men, and I know that they're going to get on their kids if they get out of hand, and I'm going to get on ours, and our coaching staff's the same way. So, but definitely, I think you need to go over there, win or lose, and say good luck or great game.
Right,
you know?
I agree. Well, they're saying it's a recommendation. Let's hope it goes away, and let's hope that, you know, maybe the sports that this is happening to
the most,
that they take care of it in that athletic event.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And maybe just particular coaches as well. So I'm sure, you know, that'll be on national news before too long too.
Yeah.
We'll hear that story as well. So again, Coach, best of luck against Tates Creek this Friday night. Hopefully you'll have a big turnout. I'm rooting for a big W.
Hopefully we will.
Yeah.
We'll bring it home.
All right, and then we'll see you, I guess, in a couple of weeks for another show.
Yep.
All right, good. All right, thanks for watching. I'm Samantha Burford, of course, here with Coach Burt Brown, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter. Or like us on Facebook, MCS TV. And of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU Bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Another great sponsor for Madison County School Sports Television is Madison HVAC. Visit them at MadisonHVACR.com. By calling Madison HVAC, you always know you'll talk to the owner. Give them a call. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. Watch our programming online at WKYT.com, your town, Richmond, or watch it at Bria Online at BriaOnline.com. This program sponsored by Madison Drug in Richmond, Town and Country Auto Sales, Richmond, the best little card shop in Richmond, and WWAG Radio. You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do if there's an earthquake, and how to plan for emergencies, like house or chemical fires. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. I'm here with Madison Central's head football coach, Burt Brown.
And I want you to watch Madison Central football on Madison County School Sports Television.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter. Or like us on Facebook, MCS TV. And of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.